50,000 amazing subscribers. Thank each and every one of you out there. Hey everyone, it's me, John Lordan, here with a very special Johnny Vlogs. I promised you guys we were going to do a studio tour when I hit 50,000, and we are there, and it is in this video. I've also got some other surprises for you. Also wanted to talk about some stats on the channel. Who's watching? Where are you guys? And some other neat things that we're going to talk about as we go along here. Of course, before we get started, just like every episode of Johnny Vlogs, we have a bunch of supporters. Thank you guys so much on Patreon and via PayPal. Let's go ahead and start with PayPal. Christine Peterson sent some money to John at LordanArts.com. Thank you so much, Christine. I truly appreciate it. Outside of that, getting into Patreon, we got a big list. Jillian Gill is now pledged. Lynn Downing, Paula Leahy, Barbara Brenchley, Susanna Semilia, Bill Melder with a very big pledge. Thank you so much, Bill. Rachel Gregory, Gabe Morales, Danny Galagani, and Lexi Unicorn, all new pledges. Thank each and every one of you. What you're doing helps keep me here. If I was relying solely on YouTube ad revenue, I definitely couldn't be helping the people that were helping on this channel, and I really appreciate that. On top of that, we had a couple people increase their pledges. Amber S., thank you so much. And Cindy Villatoro also increased her pledge. Thank you, guys. All right, so getting down to business. First of all, I don't know if all of you know this because there's a bunch of new subscribers, but this hat was actually a gift from my wife. You can see it says 20, and then in little tiny letters it says 1,000 down there, when the channel hit the 20,000 mark. And that's why I wear it on the channel frequently. We have now blown past that. We're at 50,000. I know some of you were actually asking in the comments, does that mean that you get a new hat? Well, yes, it does. Here we go. And let me see if I can put it on straight. LordanArts 50K. There it is. New hat. I love it. I love seeing the logo on there. I'm pretty sure that I'll be taking this with me to CrimeCon. And once again, just a big thank you to my wife. It really means a lot to me that she supports me in this venture, and she helps me celebrate these goals. They mean a big deal. And I know I'm not the biggest rocket ship on YouTube in terms of gaining subscribers, but I really appreciate the steady pace that we've had. I appreciate the type of community that we've grown. And I'm just so happy and proud to be in this position. So thanks to my wife and thanks to all of you. All right, so let's talk about the channel a little bit. What's going on? What is, in terms of overall views, let's start with. Overall views on the channel are 9,374,513 as of when I'm filming this. And lately I've been looking at my views kind of per month, and basically I'm averaging somewhere between 400 to about 420, 430,000 views per month. It blows my mind. It's such a big number. On top of that, for subscribers, as I'm looking at this right now, we're at 50,733. So we're almost already at the 51,000 mark. What else can I tell you about the channel from here? Well, if you're watching this channel, the likelihood is you're probably female. 65% of the subscribers at this point are female. And that's been a real interesting thing for me to watch because for a long time, I was very, very male-centric in terms of my channel, and then it kind of evened out, and now it's kind of pushing the other way. I really don't know what drives that. I don't know if women just want to see this type of content or kind of care about the or appreciate the approach that I'm bringing to it. I don't know. If you guys have thoughts on that, share them with me in the comments below. Let's talk top geographies. Where are you if you are a LordanArts watcher? Let's do this list backwards. So coming in 5th is Germany. Approximately 2.2% of my audience is out there. Hey, Germany. Australia comes in 4th with 3.4% of the audience. Canada comes in 6.6% at 3rd. The United Kingdom is now in second place with 13%, and the good old US of A, first place, 61% of my viewers are in the US. What about age ranges that are watching the channel? Well, there is a sliver of you that are 13 to 17 years old. Didn't know you guys were out there, but hi, I appreciate you being there. 18 to 24, there is a lot more. About 9.5% of my female audience is in the 18 to 24 category, and 4% of my male audience is in that 18 to 24 category. Now, what's interesting is the 25 to 34-year-old category, the males and the females get much closer. Males 17% and females 21% of my audience. Then we get to 35 to 44, and they're really close. Males at 13% and females 14% of my audience are in that age range. Start shrinking a little bit from here. 45 to 54, males 5.4% of my audience are in that age range. Females 8.3% are in that age range. 55 to 64, for males, I'm at 1.5% of my audience, and for females, 3.9%. And they do have 65 plus. For males, I'm at 0.7%. But for females, 1.4. So that's kind of how all the ages break out here. On top of that, I wanted to share with you guys, you know, it's of course tax season, and I had to get all the information together for taxes. And one of the things I'm very proud about with the channel is helping cases. And of course, I have the dream that I think many podcasters or other true crime YouTubers do, that we want to help these cases by raising exposure, and maybe at some point that helps actually crack one of these cases. But outside of that, I wanted something that was kind of immediate and very something that was a bit easier to help those cases. And if you've been watching me over the past few years, you've seen that I've really gotten into donating to these cases. So I can tell you, for the year 2017, we donated literally thousands of dollars to 30 separate causes or cases. And some of the biggest ones that we donated to, of course, were the Las Vegas Victims Fund, Team Waters, and of course, Destiny Rescue. And a really important consideration to think of with that, for the individual case donations that we do on GoFundMe in particular, none of that stuff is tax deductible. And that's why I really appreciate my Patreon supporters so much, because you're giving me the ability to be able to do things like that and to not really have to worry about you know, how it's affecting the bottom line. Am I going to be able to keep the lights on in this room or whatever? So I really, really appreciate you guys out there. All right. Is this what you were here for? I don't know. Just wanted to share some info with you about the channel and where it's at. But I think it's time for that studio tour. So before we get started, I want to show you another gift from my amazing wife. This is my LordanArts martini glass. Yes, I do like to have a martini every now and then, although right now, that's just nice cold water in there. And on the back side, it does say 50,000. I know it's kind of hard to see with the water. Oh, somewhere in there. LordanArts on one side, 50,000 subscribers on the other. All right. You wondering what's behind this curtain? Let's check it out. What's behind the curtain? Actually, this is where the curtain goes when it's not in use. I basically just slide it up against the wall there. And here is the desk where all of the research and the filming happens. You can see my microphone, Blue Yeti, little wind guard on it. Did that because the peas were popping too much. This little tiny camera up here does most of the work. You can see I've got an old Xbox 360 camera on top of it. That's for when I do interviews, because with Skype, you can't share the camera with the software that I use for recording the show. Oh boy, that's a little dusty. But so I basically need the old Xbox 360 camera so people on Skype can see me talking to them, and then I record the show using the Logitech camera right below that. And, you know, I got my good old friend, the Xbox 360 over here, and of course, Star Wars stuff. I'm still geek and dorks at heart. This is a BB-8 lamp. Pretty cool. I won this thing at the Minnesota State Fair. I'm still trying to figure out what it is. I think it might supposed to be yogurt. I know what some of you are thinking right now. As you can see, I put up foam for the sound. When I first moved into this room, a lot of you were telling me that the sound was super echoey. I've got a whole wall here where I've kind of done a little foam artwork also. And this little screen down here, right behind my LordanArts martini glass, this little screen for a while I was using as part of my setup. I would basically keep this on as a monitor so I could see what was being recorded on the show. And that way I could use my big screen for research and going through stuff with you guys on that. I've kind of changed things up, so I'm really not using this quite as much anymore. And of course, got to have a printer in the office, got to have an R2-D2, and got to have a Han Solo. It's not quite a refrigerator, it's more like an electric cooler. It keeps cold things cold and warm things warm, depending on what setting you use, but it doesn't quite refrigerate them, so I really just have him here for a cool factor. I love looking over and seeing him there. And got a little bit of a Star Wars geeky corner here. We got some Yoda, we got a couple of Kylos, and of course, big bad Boba Fett. Some of you might remember this. This was a gift from my wife for one of the previous thresholds. I'm trying to remember which one that was. That might have been 30,000, if I recall correctly. She also got me this really cool brain bookend. Really been digging that. So that's it for kind of the brain scratch set, but that's not all that there is to this room. As you can see, it's a pretty big room, and we've got a nice fireplace there, a couch, little table, Smallville stuff. Yes, I'm a huge fan of Smallville. I know some of you are probably groaning right now, but I love the drama aspect. I thought they did a really good job, particularly with the Clark and Lex relationship. And down here, a LordanArts pillow. That one was for $40K. And of course, in the corner, got to have a fun place for the cats to come in. It always makes me feel good when I'm doing some heavy research. I turn around and I see one of the cats in there, or chilling on the couch in here, or jumping up in my lap in the middle of it. So that is the, well, I guess you guys probably want to see this. I love this. Just one switch, and we've got a fire. Comes in handy in some of the cold mornings down here. So that's it. That is the new studio. Spent a lot of time down here. I keep saying down here, but it's a lower level. It's not quite a basement. I know there's this rumor going on out there that YouTubers have to work in their parents' basement. Not quite, but it is a lower level to the rest of the house. So hope you guys enjoyed that.
So there it is. You've gotten a peek behind the curtain. And I did want to share one more thing with you. For those of you that have fur babies or love animals, I know there's several of you that commented you really appreciated seeing Lila pop up in that video. So I want to show you this picture. This is something that I made for my wife as a gift, and we have a printout framed of it upstairs. But these are all the fur babies. Unfortunately, the two on the right, the black one is Molly, and the one right below her is Gary. Unfortunately, they have left us. But in the center there, the red tabby, that is Shelby. And boy, did he give us some headaches with wanting to chew on that Christmas tree. And to the left in the upper corner is Chloe. And down below, there she is again, the new member of the family, Lila. So I just wanted to share that with you. I'd actually bring them down, but right now it's just changed to spring here, and all the chipmunks and birds are out in the back, and both the girls in particular, they're just glued to the window watching chipmunks and birds. So I didn't want to disturb them, but I thought I wanted to share this photo with you guys so you can see the other part of my life, something that helps keep me sane when I'm not down here researching cases. Special video for you guys tomorrow. We don't have a case cracked, but we have a Brain Scratch Searchlight update, an interview with family members. If you remember the Michelle Parker case, that is the woman that was on People's Court and went missing the day that it aired. Her father, Brad, and her stepmother, Gail, are going to be interviewed by myself on the channel tomorrow. You don't want to miss that. It's definitely one of the more famous cases because of this People's Court aspect. It's also a case that has moved very far. It's got pretty much a named suspect, but there's still that missing piece. We're still looking for help, trying to get police to feel comfortable with really moving forward and pressing charges if her fiance, Dale, is the actual suspect. At this point, police are saying that he is. I mean, they've said that since about 11 days after she went missing. But another case that still needs some cracking, and hopefully someone out there has the information. So be sure to come back tomorrow and check out that interview. Thank you so much, everyone. Really, it just means the world to me that the channel keeps growing and keeps taking these steps. I appreciate it. I cannot do it without you guys. Every share, every time you're telling someone else about it, all of that is super helpful. I really appreciate it. And also, be sure to follow me over on Twitter at LordanArts. It's sometimes a little bit easier to get a hold of me over there. I really try to manage my Twitter very, very tightly. And of course, YouTube comments are exploding on my old videos and the new videos. It's a bit of a bear to deal with sometimes, especially because the comment tools are not great. But if you want to reach out to me, Twitter is becoming a really great place for little simple interactions, or if you want to send me a news link or make a case suggestion or something like that. So take care, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this. Come back tomorrow. I'll see you there.